What's up, everyone? Steven here with TechMaker.tv. This is building a decentralized chat application with Node JS and aleph.im. I believe this is part 12, and in this episode, we're going to work on hooking up the user interface for what we built in the last episode. So last time, we figured out how to essentially create channels. And what I want to do in this episode is remove these hard-coded channels and actually work on integrating our new dynamic channels that we can create. This episode may be kind of short because I just want to focus on getting this hooked up over here. And then in the next episode, we're going to go a little bit more in depth with once we get these set up, how can we post messages to them, and how can people join channels that we are creating dynamically here. So with that said, let's go take a look back over at the code and kind of see where we need to do this. I'm also going to comment a little bit about what we might need to do in the future in order to actually, get this working in a realistic way. Because what we're going to do today is definitely going to slow down the page load process, which is not something we really want. So what we're going to do is essentially we're going to have to probably within inside of here, instead of get post, we're going to have to, well, how can we do this? I guess what we're going to need to do is make this an async await, and we're going to need to, instead of doing this in a sort of like promise or in a then here, what we're going to do is await the response, and then we're going to set our variables in our response render afterwards. So before we even start that, let's just see about what we really need to do to get what we have right now working with this new model. And so what I mean by that is we're going to go out to the network and we're going to query the channels. But you'll see what I mean in a second. We can't, or we shouldn't do like a loop and then a loop within a loop kind of deal. So what I want to do is just inline it, and you'll see what I mean. Let's just kind of jump into it. So I want to say async here, and then down below, instead of doing then, what I'm going to do is say let result equal this, and then I don't need to get all this business because this is awaiting now. And let's see if I have the syntax all correct here. I'm missing my await. So I'm going to do that, and then let's see if the actual page still works. So if I refresh, I'm going to have to log in again. And you can see that it looks like we're still pulling back all the messages and stuff, so that seems to be fine. Okay, so what we're about to do is going to slow down what we're doing here probably considerably. I don't know if it's going to be like terrible, but it's something we're going to want to deal with later by moving some of this to the front end, or at least making it lazy loaded once the front end loads or something like that. So I got some different ideas. I don't want to go too crazy, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if I want to make this a whole React deal or just kind of hook up like some really basic stuff with jQuery, something like that. So we'll see. I don't know yet. In any case, let's go ahead and see if we can get this hooked up to pull back our channels. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is pull back the memberships that belong to me. So I want to know what are my channel memberships. And remember, we talked about this over here on the sketchpad. So we have this channel membership, and then that is connected to the channel. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to look up the channel memberships, and then I'm going to say pull off the ref off of the channel membership and give me all of those channels. So let's see if we can figure out how to do that. So we're going to say let memberships equal, and I'm not going to touch the rest of this stuff. I'm just going to leave this alone. We know that's working for now. So there's going to be some stuff that's out of sync here because we're actually not really putting messages into our model yet, into our architecture. So I'm just leaving all the defaults there. We're going to switch that out in the next episode, but I wanted to go ahead and just kind of get this set up so that we have the right structure. So we're going to do await aleph.post.getPost. And here we're going to do channel memberships. And if you'll remember, down here we have channel memberships, which is our table essentially that we're using. And then I think so. What I want to do, I don't want anything with the refs. What I want to do is say, first of all, let's just make sure we have this API server thing in here before I forget. So we'll go ahead and put this here. But what I need to do is something like account, and then I think we need to do, how do I pull the account off this thing? Oh, I have to do the import account thing first, actually. Well, maybe not. Let's see really quick. I just want to make sure I remember exactly how this is. So I have address on my user, and how where am I importing the account again? Let's see here. So we've got request.user. So what I'm going to do is request.user.address, I believe, and we're going to put that inside of this accounts here. And I think I need to pass this in like an array, user.address, like that. And then let's console.log memberships. And let's just see what this does, because I may have mistyped something, and this may not be account right here. And we can go look in the Aleph GitHub. And actually, this isn't the right repository. I want to look in the actual JavaScript here in aleph.js. We'll look at the source. We'll look at API. I think we want to look in post down here. And so we have refs, addresses. Okay. So this is why I got confused. Let me open up the... So what I want to look at is this simple DApp again. I want to just double check how this is being used here. App view. Okay, so passing in refs like that. What do I have over here? Okay, so I have refs. Okay, so that makes sense. So this should be addresses, I think. Just looking at I'm looking at the naming convention here. So we have refs, we have addresses. So I'm going to check the addresses here, not accounts. So I'll save this. We'll have to go log in again, and then we will try to see if we get some channel memberships being logged out in our terminal. All right. And let's see. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. It didn't blow up, so let's have a look here. So we've got posts, we've got a channel membership, and we have basically, it looks like we have two of them. Yeah, so pagination total down here, you can see that we have two. Okay, cool. So if you will recall, each one of these channel memberships is storing in the ref, if I can find it. This one doesn't seem to have one. I remember we had one or two false starts, so maybe there's some data in here that doesn't make sense. So this one has a ref in it, and this is going to be a item hash off of a channel. And so what we're going to do is say, pull all of the refs off of each one of these channel memberships, and then look up all the channels that have those refs. Okay, so let's work on getting that going. So at this moment, we have memberships here. So what I'm going to do is say, let channel refs equal, and then we're going to basically map over the memberships and pull off those refs. And so that is inside of posts here. So we have memberships.posts basically, and you can see the same kind of deal here. We have result and then result.post. That's just part of the API. So we'll have memberships.posts right there. So what we want to do is say .map here. And then this is going to take a function that takes one argument. I'm going to call it channel ref because that's kind of the singular of, actually, you know what? That's not right. What I want to do is say memberships.post.map do membership. So singular membership. And now what I want to do is say if membership.ref, and I believe that's like there. And I'm just double checking everything. So this one doesn't even look like it has a ref. So I'm just going to assume for now this will work. Let's see. And I'm just going to say return membership.ref. And then right here, let's console.log channel refs and see what we got. And I'm going to actually put in here something like channel refs like this. So we'll save that and we will go back and log back in really quick. Try this again. And hopefully it doesn't crash. You can see it's a little slower to load because it's doing a few different, well, still doing those two queries. Okay, so let me scroll up here. So I have channel refs and I've got an array and then an undefined. And so what I need to do is actually, I need to figure out how to get rid of this undefined. There may be a different array method. In Ruby, I would do something different, but let me go check really quick what I need to use here. Okay, so it looks like what I want to do is after I get the channel refs here, I actually want to override it with a filtered list. This is what I think right now anyway. Let's see how it goes. So we'll say channel refs dot filter, and then I'll just say ref. And let me try this like this. Let me see if I can just do ref, and then ref does not equal undefined, like that, just all on one line. And let's just run this and see what happens. So if I refresh here, Samantha, sometimes I mess up the ES6 syntax a little bit, so we'll see. It looks like it worked. And let's scroll all the way down. Channel refs, and I've got my refs there. Okay, cool. So let's try to actually pull back our various channels with these channel refs here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is say let channels equal, and then we'll do aleph posts get posts. And then what I'm going to do here is channels, and then inside of here, I think I can do item hash. Let me go back again over to my posts here. So I think I need to do hashes. I think it's hashes. So which kind of makes sense with the rest of the naming there. And I believe that needs to be a string. And then I'm going to just pass in channel refs, because remember that the refs that we stored are actually the item hashes of the channel objects, right? So, and then I need to do my API server is API server, I think. I believe that's necessary, don't know for sure. So let's console.log channels now. And once we have that, let me just straighten that up there. Let's go try this out here. So let's see, let me refresh again. Something crashed. App crashed. What did I do? Looks like I'm missing a parenthesis right here. Let's see if it fires up this time. Looks better. Let's refresh. Okay. All right, and it looks like everything loaded. And I didn't await it, I guess. Let channels equals await. Try this one more time. I knew that because I saw that there was a promise in there that had been console.logged out. And you see how that took a little longer that time? It's because we're doing multiple queries now. Okay, so now we've got a channel called TechMaker Chat here. Actually, no, sorry, excuse me. That is the channel on Aleph, not to be confused with our channel. So inside of here, we have a channel with the address of the creator. And then we have down in here, there's a body called final test, hopefully. And if you will recall, that is what we had here. So this was the final test that we did to get a channel going. So what we want to do is basically pass that in the same way that we are everything else. So we don't need to console log this anymore. So what I'm going to do is render index, and because I'm getting a bunch of stuff now, I'm actually going to put all these on different lines here. And again, we're going to get rid of a lot of this, but for now, I'm going to do channels and then channels like so. And then over in index.js, up in here where this is hard coded, I'm going to actually, let's see, I'm going to just edit one of these. So let me just remind myself how I loop through stuff in EJS. Okay, so let me copy this here. All right, sorry, here we go. So what we're going to do is say channels. We don't need to reverse anything. I don't know. Well, the sorting of that may be something we have to work out later. Channel.each do channel, drop for each do channel. And then this is going to require an, I was going to say end because normally you would end that if you were in ERB and Ruby, but that's not right. So we need this curly brace thing here. And let's go ahead and axe the rest of, whoa, too much scrolling. Let's go ahead and axe the rest of these like this. And then what I want to do is inside of here, I'm just going to go ahead and print out the name. So, and I'm going to do the same deal here. So we'll say parsed channel, and we're going to do post dot, you know what? I called that item because I think that's called item content there. So we'll say channel dot item content. And then here, what was in this thing, right? So we have content body. Okay. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what control we have over that or not. So we'll go look at that in just a second. But so I'm going to do parsed item dot body like that. I think I have an extra bracket there. Okay. And we don't know the number of members, so we're going to leave that hard coded because we may not even keep that. I don't know. This is something from another app that we copied over, obviously. So let's just refresh here. Let's see what we get. And hopefully we get something with the name. And no, we don't. I got a problem with my for each is not a function. Why is it not a function? I have posts. You know what I did? That needs to be channels dot posts like that. Okay, so hopefully this works. If it does load, we'll go back and discuss that otherwise. Okay, so I'm not getting my title, but I do have one object there. So let me actually see here. How can I wonder if I can like, let me actually just print the item. Parsed item. So this should be interesting. So if I refresh, what does it give me? It's going to be, is there anything in there? No. Nothing at all. Okay, so, oh, it's because I put that above. That doesn't make any sense. Let's see about that. Object, parsed item dot name. Is that a thing? I feel like I would have called it name. I don't remember why it's body. What I want to see is, first of all, can I console? I guess I can console.log parsed item like this. I haven't really spent that much time in EJS, so we're going to find out together if this makes any sense. So I'm going to go to console and refresh and see if this works the way that I think. Apparently not. Okay, so I got to figure out what's going wrong here. In my item content, oh, you know what it is? It should be content.content.body. I think. So we have, I think what I'm pulling out, so we have parsed item is channel.item content. And then inside of there, we have, this is going to give us this whole big set of text. And then I think this should be .content.body. Just trying to remember what the heck I did. Okay, cool. So now we have it showing up. So if we go back to the code, there was something I was going to explain, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. I was just passing channels here, but we have to call .posts on there, and that's just got to do with the data structure that Aleph is sending us back. You can see we're doing the same thing there with results. The last thing I'm going to do is just kind of get us set up for later. Right here, I'm going to make this the parsed item dot, no, I think I just want to do the hash of the object. So I should be able to do right here, channel.item hash. And let's save that, and let's go back to our browser and refresh. And I just want to hover and see if in the bottom left, yeah, so you can see down there it's going to localhost 4567/rooms way down here when I'm hovering on it. And then it's got the item hash of that object. So right now if I click it, it's going to basically be like, hey, there's no room here. Actually, it's saying there's no channels because we haven't updated that other route to handle the same stuff yet. So we'll need to do that. But this is what we're going to use to pull back the actual channel, and then we're going to like be able to post messages to that channel. So I think we're pretty set up. So what we're going to do in the next episode is we're not going to load any messages over here. We're going to say something like pick a channel to get started or create one or whatever. And then you'll click on a channel, and then it will go out and it will load the messages for that channel after you click. And so that will make that make sense and work. And again, we're doing all of this in this sort of like, you click here and it actually navigates to a new page, and that's going to re-query all that stuff. There's not really a reason to do that. Like probably toward the end of this, what we're going to do is something where, this only all loads once. As you click, it just updates the state, something like that. We'll see. I don't know exactly how far I'm going to push this. I'm getting some other ideas for this is sort of the first time we've done a whole app that's sort of decentralized like this. So we'll see what we come up with. In any case, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. In the next episode, we'll push this hopefully where we have a fully functional chat, maybe 2 more. In any case, I hope you're enjoying the series, and I'll talk to you next time.